Can I give you one of these, young man? They're free of charge.
What are they?
It's a coin. It's got the gospel on one side, the 10 commandments on the other. You believe in an afterlife?
Yeah, I think I do.
You do?
Yeah.
And God, do you believe in God?
Not always.
Not always.
No.
Right, okay.
No.
What about heaven and hell? Do you believe in them?
Well, hell, yes, she stood there. And Evan just walked past me down there.
That's lust. If there is a heaven, do you think you'll be good enough to get there?
Oh, well.
Yeah, you're a good person.
I've done some.
Right.
I've done some things I maybe shouldn't have done in the past.
Haven't we all?
Haven't we all?
Yeah. But we're from a little church down by the bus station. We do a quick test, only takes about 30 seconds. How many lies have you told in your life? That's blasphemy.
I know it is.
That were punishable by death in Old Testament.
What it?
Yeah, one of the most serious
I know
sins.
my mum used to say, don't use the Lord's name in vain.
No. You don't know what you're doing when you do it. How many lies you told in your life? More than one.
Yeah, but you know, I'm not a liar.
You're not a liar. Well, if you
liar.
kill one person, you're a murderer.
You know,
if you tell one lie.
No, you're not. You're not a murderer if you kill a person.
No?
No, because some people don't deserve life. Because they're horrible.
Well, it depends which way you're coming from, but you see, there is rules. They're on this coin. And
Yeah, I know, but
it's 10 commandments.
there's rules amongst man and all. You know.
Right, okay. Well, let me just finish off. Have you
men.
ever stolen anything?
So,
no matter how small?
no, just don't.
Yeah.
Don't detract from that. So,
Go on then.
If somebody murdered your child, right? Brutally, whatever.
Yeah. I understand it.
How would that make you feel?
Well,
because I know how it make me feel, and I know what I'd do to him.
The
if
thing
I got my
is,
hands on him.
because I'm a Christian and I know what the Bible says, I know what's going to happen to him in the end. It is vile. It is.
Christian, this man. Trying to convert me. I've just said we'll go in with the spuns, we'll have a couple of whiskies.
What's he like?
God bless you.
Yeah, mate, it's a funny one, isn't it? But
yeah. Well, the thing is, a lot of people have got different interpretations about Christianity.
Yeah, I know.
Now, a lot of people, as soon as you say, "Oh, I'm a Christian," they straight away think of Catholic priests and vicars and what they've done, all the wars that's been caused.
I know.
So I'm a follower of Jesus Christ. I do it from the Bible.
Yeah, mate. I get that.
I mean, every other religion in this world, they believe it's like a scale. Yeah. You've got to do more good than bad to get into heaven.
You see, it's like, us as humans, we're quite easily converted. You know what I think? Us as humans, we're robots. That's
Moist robots.
We're programmed. We're programmed.
You think so?
Yes, we're programmed.
Right. You've not got a free will then?
Why do you keep stepping back?
Eh? It's a conversation, isn't it?
But so you take a police officer, right?
Can I have a key, please?
Oh.
It's programmed. It's programmed. I had a mate of mine, Pete. He was chief inspector, South Yorkshire Traffic, right? And he could not detract from his programming.
Right.
Like you see, you're programmed. It's like I could stand here all day, mate. Yeah. You know what I mean? And from listening to me, you might think, something? He talks some sense, that bloke. So I've always said, that TV that we've all got in his hand. In his hand.
Yeah.
Well, that's a program. That's one of your main programs, right? You take advertisements, right? The repetitive.
Yeah.
Right? You're walking down the street and you're humming or you're whistling this tune.
What you're saying is that we get brainwashed. I understand that.
Yeah.
Of course I do.
That's what I'm saying. We're just robots, mate. And we're programmed. We're all programmed. If I ask you, do you believe in aliens?
You're asking me?
Yeah. Do you believe in alien life?
Well, there could be, but I think it's a bit.
So you don't think there's anything more superior than us humans?
Well, no.
Well, there is.
So you think?
Well,
there is, and that's God.
No. No, God. So, all due respect.
All right. Yeah.
Right, you take the pyramids in Egypt. They were there long before God. And you know them, mate. So how many years are we talking? When did God come to earth?
Oh, you're talking about Jesus now.
Yeah, Jesus.
No, God. Jesus
so-
was God come to earth as a man.
Yeah.
But
So-
God was eternal. He's been there always.
But you know these pyramids, mate. Let me hear this. Let me just give you a fact.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
This is a
Yeah,
fact.
yeah.
Them pyramids, mate, were there before Jesus came to earth.
Yeah,
right?
of course they were.
He didn't
yeah.
create them, right? We're led to believe that he created this, and I like to think that But you know something? You know what science about today? I mean, atoms. You know us. You know what we mainly.
Can I just say something? I know.
You know
I know
what
you.
we mainly
I've let you
consist
speak
of?
now
Yeah.
for a while.
No, let me finish.
Go on then.
And then I'll let you say.
Yeah.
So we're made up of atoms and carbon. That's what we're made up of.
Of course we are. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what we're made up of.
We come from the dust of the earth.
Yeah. Let me just go back to them pyramids, right? Them pyramids, right? You know one of them stones? It's as big as that there, look.
Oh
that
no, I've
thing
seen
there.
them. There's massive
Can
ones.
you imagine how
we
much-
can't even move? Not these days.
Right?
Yeah. No, I know. I've seen them.
And the cut, right?
Yeah. Clean cut. I've seen them.
They
Massive.
They can't cut them like that
Yeah,
today.
yeah.
So-
Are you saying it's aliens then that's brought?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I
Well,
truly
it is a
believe-
possibility. I mean, it's not. The thing is, I am interested in truth.
Yeah.
Right? There's only one truth. People say, I've got my truth, you've got your truth. That's a load of rubbish. There's only one truth.
Well, of course there is. You know, it's rather you're telling truth or you're telling a lie.
That's right,
Do you know
yeah.
what I mean? It's one or other.
But let me I'll just give you a quick story, like 4 years ago, if you'd have known me before 4 years ago, you wouldn't have wanted to know me. I were a bad person.
Really?
Honestly, a bad person. And I'd be too embarrassed to tell anybody, but that's all I'm saying.
Wow.
God put me in hospital for a triple bypass and a valve. I weren't expected to get through it. And I laid in that hospital bed the night before I had to go down, and I prayed and prayed and prayed. And I said, look, God, you get me out of this. You get me back to life again, and I'll give you my life.
Yeah.
And it did. And I were amazed. I were in intensive care 4 days. You're normally in 4
But you
hours.
see, but you believe
Let me
that,
finish.
don't you? Yeah,
Right.
you believe that.
But the thing is, once I'd made that commitment, right, it changed my life totally.
Yeah, it will do.
Absolutely changed
It will
it.
do.
And
Because you walked out of that hospital,
that's
you
right.
fully believed that
yeah,
God.
Yeah. But
that
I'd known about
played-
God all my life.
Yeah.
You know, I've been brought up with Catholic Church, then I went to Pentecostal churches, and I thought I were a Christian, but I weren't.
No.
I was doing all the right things,
Well,
but I was doing stuff.
You know, mate, you know, like
To earn God's
you know
attention.
Catholics, I mean, 90% of Catholics, they're just total
Yep.
hypocrites, mate.
No, I know what you're
Total
saying.
hypocrites.
But every other religion in
Half
this
the
world,
half the buggers are sat in pub, you know,
Yep.
they're all drinkers
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they swear and they...
let me give you a little analogy. If you were a doctor, right, and somebody comes in, looks fit and healthy, goes to the gym every day, and he sits down in front of you, you know he's dying, he's got 2 weeks to live, right? You've got a cure in your pocket. Would you give him the cure, or would you give him the x-rays?
I'd probably give him the cure.
Right.
Why not?
Because he doesn't know he's ill, he thinks he's well. He needs the x-rays to show him and just say, look, this is the inside of your body. They're the tumours all over. You need this cure. You know what I mean? And then he understands why.
Yeah.
And what I'm trying to do with people is explain that they're in a dire situation. They don't realise it. I'm going to finish that test very quickly. Have you ever, you've lied, we know you've lied.
Yeah.
Have you ever stolen a note, no matter how small?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, I have.
What's that make you?
It don't make me a thief.
Right, okay. Have you
So-
ever used God's name in vain? Yes, I know you have, because
Just.
we've just done it,
And,
right.
And you know something? You
And
know,
let me finish.
even in
You've
conversation,
spoken, I just
people
want
say-
to talk.
Yeah.
Have you ever looked at someone with lust?
Oh.
You've just done it, haven't you?
Yeah,
Right.
because...
Right.
I'm a ladies' man.
Right, but listen,
I
as
always
far as
wear.
God's concerned, not you,
No.
but as far as God's concerned, there His standards. The 4 of the 10 Commandments.
Yeah.
That's His standard. But
Yeah.
if you have to stand in
So a
front
man
of...
can't lust at a woman.
No, listen. If you stand before
Have
God...
you ever lusted at a woman?
Of
You
course
must
I have.
have.
That's why I
Yeah.
said I was a bad person.
Yeah, but you know, that don't make you a bad person. But as
Listen.
a younger man, you think, wow, look at that.
By
there.
God's standard it does. If you have to stand before God on Judgment Day, and there will be a Judgment Day, trust me, right? And you've got to stand. Would you be innocent or guilty? To His standard.
I'm guilty. Of course
Guilty.
I'm guilty.
Heaven or hell to His standard.
Well, yeah, but generally, listen, I've got heart of gold, right? And I'm a
Yes.
good person.
What did God do for guilty sinners so we didn't have to go to hell? I think you'll know.
I'm not quite sure. For guilty sinners.
Yes, so that we didn't have to go to hell. You've heard of Jesus dying on a cross?
Yeah.
Right, well when he died on that cross, there were a legal transaction being performed that people don't understand. When he died, he said 3 words. They were written in Greek, which is tetelestai, but the actual meaning is paid in full. And he was saying he's paying in full what you've done, what I've done, what everybody's done. He's paid the price.
Right.
In his blood and his suffering. That was the currency he used. If you were in court, what's your name?
Graham.
Graham, I'm Jeff, pleased to meet you. If Graham's in court and he's got £1,000 fine to pay, if you can't pay it, you're going to prison. But if somebody comes in and says, I'll pay Graham's fine, the judge can legally let you go. All you've got to do is admit your crime, say you're sorry, which is basically repentance, and get out of court. You're set free. And that's exactly what Jesus were doing. He were paying our price in His blood.
Yeah. Right, Jeff. Nice to meet you,
Right.
mate.
God bless you.
God bless you.
I'll be praying for you. But listen, I'll give you one of these. What I want you
Give
to
me
do...
one of them coins then.
Yeah, of course you can. I'll give you Mrs. one as well. Right, this is what Jesus said. And Jesus was God come to earth as a man. So he was God. Truly, truly, I tell you, no one can see the kingdom of God unless they're born again. So you've got to be born
I'll
again.
read this.
Please.
I'll read it, and what I'll do, I've got my boys up in Scarborough.
Right.
And I've got a little granddaughter, she's 10 years old. And he takes her to church every Sunday.
Yeah.
And they love her. They love
Lovely.
her.
Lovely.
My guys loves it, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I just get comfort from it, Dad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'll take it and I'll
But
mention
that what I've just told you
I'll
is
say, I
what
met
it's
a bloke
called.
called Jeff, a Christian.
Yep, that's right.
And I couldn't get away from him. You know what I mean? We didn't ever sat there, and he kept going on about this.
Graham, you're a really interesting guy, honestly.
Mate,
Thank
I
you.
could talk.
Thank you.
I could talk all day, but
Yeah, I can tell. Yeah, you've got your opinions and I respect them.
and I'm a people's man.
Yeah, I can see that.
That's my bus there, look.
Right.
I take them on their holidays.
Yeah.
I've always been a people's man.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've always worked around public.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, before you go, I don't know whether you realise, but you've been on camera.
Oh, right.
Do you mind if I use it for YouTube? We've
Yeah, of course you can, mate.
Thank
Yeah.
you very much.
Yeah, of course you can.
Right, well that's the channel, it's on the back.
Yeah.
It'll be on in a couple of days,
Yeah.
so you'll be a film star. Oh, before I go, that film, 30 million views.
Yeah.
The channel's had 300 million, it's gone viral. And young guys, older guys, they're all watching it.
Are they?
It's brilliant, honestly. If you watch, it's only 50 minutes.
The atheist
Delusion. Yeah, people who don't believe in God.
You
they
see, I'm not
think-
an atheist.
No, I know, I can tell
I'm not
that.
an atheist.
Yeah,
I'm not.
yeah.
I mean, I want to believe,
Yeah,
but I certainly believe in life after death.
yeah.
Because, well, my dad passed away, right? And they he passed away,
Yeah.
and they brought him back,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
And he was laid there in this room on his own, mate.
Yeah.
And it was so vacant, and you could see he was just like. And I went, Dad, where you been? And he went, you could just see it in his eyes and
Yeah,
his face.
yeah,
and
yeah.
he went,
Yeah.
he says, I don't know. He says, but he says, I just saw a light, and he says, and I've been down this tunnel.
Yeah. See,
but
nobody knows what's at
yeah.
the other side, but a Christian does.
So he had an afterlife experience.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Your dad?
out of body experience.
And-
yeah, yeah.
Thank God, he walked out of hospital after having a
Hallelujah.
life. Yeah,
Yeah, that's brilliant, that.
yeah. But my mum, she always had a cross, my mum. She says, well, I don't go to church. She says, but I believe, and she had a picture of
Yeah.
Jesus, and she kissed
But
it
do
every
you
night.
know why?
before
Do you know why she was wearing that cross? It's to remind us what he did. He paid the price.
She
for
was a
us.
believer, my mum,
Yeah,
and she
yeah.
had a lot of faith
God
in
bless
God.
her, yeah.
And she did.
Yeah.
And she kissed his photo every night before she went to bed.
Oh.
Right? And she
That's
prayed to
lovely.
him.
Yeah.
But so I've been brought up with that. So yeah, I do believe. But sometimes, mate, I question it. I think to him, he's like, you know, with all these genocides and you know, all these bad things.
That's
You know what I mean,
happening.
Jeff?
Yeah,
And I think,
yeah.
well, if there's an almighty up there, do you know what I mean? Why on earth does he not prevent this from happening? Why is he not stopped? I mean, look at these. They're going around with shooters, you know, with schools, gunning all kids down. And I'm thinking, well, why did you just strike him down? You know what I mean?
There are reasons, and it took me a long time to go through it, but
mate.
it is a sad, sad world.
It is, mate, we're living in it.
But I tell you what, when we die, if you're a Christian, you get a new body, not just a spirit, you get a new body.
Better than this?
Yes, better than that. Well, honestly, new body and a
I'm an
new
ex-Marine,
life.
you know.
Are you?
Yes.
Oh, thank you for your service. Yeah, brilliant.
Right, Jeff, I'm going to
God
shake your
bless
hand
you.
again, mate.
Yeah.
So
I bet your missus is steaming.
Have a
Take
good day,
care.
mate.
Yeah, God bless you.
God bless you.
Take care.
I'll never forget your face.
Good man.